here's a lukewarm take. I think in 2025, which is the year that we are currently in, unless you listen to Changelog News, then you might still be in 2024. We shouldn't think about Windows and Mac OS and Linux very much at all. I think that Steve Jobs was right. These are trucks. We drive trucks because we're truck drivers. But the world at large, the operating systems at large in 2025 are on smartphones. And iOS and Android are the operating systems of this decade. And so that's where it matters. And I think that those people, for passwords, are being taken care of. I can't speak to the quality of Android's implementation, but I know there's stuff there. And so I just think that we shouldn't even be thinking about desktops. And when we talk about mainstream consumerism, mainstream computerism, because almost everybody in the world using a smartphone as their primary and in many cases their only computing device. Is that lukewarm? Is that hot? Is that cold?
I mean, I don't disagree that a lot of people, a large majority of people consider computers or today's modern computer being a mobile device. Well, it could even be as far as an iPad. Similar to this conversation with Dan and the fact that email password login will be around for the foreseeable future, I feel like some version of the desktop will be around for the foreseeable future. It is the platform where you have control of the compute, control of the operating system. You know this, Jerod. You're a developer. Like, that's my argument, is like you will have a version of that for people.
I'm not saying you won't, but those are the truck drivers. And truck drivers have specific tools they use in order to drive their trucks better. You know, like, remember that guy who's got the Sylvester Stallone? You know, he had that built in over the top.
What is this? Oh, yeah.
Dan knows.
Gotcha.
Or I was just thinking about CDL, yes. Right? Like people.
Well, you
have specified knowledge, right? And you have a higher expectation of a truck driver than you would of someone who drives a car.
Yes.
So
that's a more practical example. I was going for the movie reference. Remember Over the Top guys, where Sylvester Stallone, he's got this built into his truck. He was an arm wrestler, and he would use one hand, and all day long while he drove, he would just be making that one arm strong. Take my strong arm. And he would
take my strong hand,
and he would become the best arm wrestler. It was basically a Rocky ripoff. Like, Rocky was really successful. He's like, let's do it again with arm wrestling. And so he had a very specific thing in his truck where he could just like work out.
Yeah, that was over the top, Jerod. Wow. I missed that movie. That was a good, the way so many people try to replicate. We've got to get this on the screen. He would be arm wrestling them, and then he would just do this movement and then take them down. He would just like curl his wrist a certain way.
He would get serious all of a sudden, and he would move his hands. It was like his killer move. You seen this movie, Dan?
Yeah, he would like change his grip.
This is my favorite conversation about authentication, though. I'll be honest with you.
Well, we aim to please around here.
I love the movie reference. That's amazing.
But yeah, yours is a much more salient reference, which is specific tooling and testing and training that truck drivers receive in order to drive trucks well. And everybody else, we got driver's licenses, but we just hop in a car and drive. We don't care about trucks.
So that answer, like, to kind of add on to the lukewarm take, your response to Adam is, I don't care about, we don't need a universal solution because we have one that is near universal for for the current platform of the century, basically, or at least decade,
yes.
Maybe not century.
And specific skilled users have their options as well, and better education, and they should know their choices of password managers, and they should know this kind of stuff. And the people driving the trucks today, the desktop CCs and the MacBooks and stuff, are sophisticated users who are usually working. Most people are creating. Even today, a lot of creation is happening on device, but on smartphone, but are actually like, this is the working class people. And it's not that I don't care about them. It's that I think that they are educated in ways that they can listen to the changelog and just know all this stuff.
Or frankly, like the employer might, if they're an employer, there's going to be like...
Exactly. There's companies out there who specialize in this stuff. Yeah.
We should do a survey. And maybe our audience is not the best audience, but I don't know who else we would survey besides our audience. Is like, are you using a password manager?
We should survey someone else's audience.
Gosh, I really want to know this, because I feel like when I talk to everyday folks, if I even mention 1Password, like, what is that?
Sure.
And that's a failure on 1Password's part, in my opinion. Like, I'm not their marketing department. I'm not even their leadership. But I think if you're running 1Password, you want everyday users to recognize who you are, because there's only so many, as Jared's saying, there's only so many truck drivers.
But isn't the money in enterprise? I mean,
yeah, right. Businesses like I know businesses that pay for 1Password, and they're thrilled to pay for 1Password for all those reasons that you mentioned, Adam.
For
right?
sure.
Like,
yeah, because you get everybody on the same platform. You get a unified source of truth. I'm not selling it, but I mean, all the reasons why you choose it is really good. Well, it's a hard fight here. It's a hard fight. So,
let's
your lukewarm take though is interesting.
All right, good.
I feel like Linux, Windows, and Mac OS still matter.
That's because we are the truck drivers of the software world.
Yeah,
and we can even be a little over the top every once in a while.